across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you on your way. The content it never stays. More positive and uplifting. Once a week the scope gifted. The zero fake hydration like reshaped.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another, well, this is not even, let me center myself. I don't know why I'm off center, but now I'm centered. Welcome to a MediaScope special. This is called a MediaScope Extra. My name is Tachi. I am a media professor, filmmaker. You know what? Let me bring myself front and center, and then we'll talk to our guests right after this. My name is Tachi. I'm a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist, and every week, usually on Fridays, we're here, but today we've got something really cool and really special to talk about. So I figured, hey, why not do it on a Tuesday? And my special guest is actually able to be here with us on a Tuesday, which is actually really cool. This is very interesting and very strange. I'm looking at some things now that are supposed to be gone, but they're not. But you know, it is what it is. Let's bring on our guest. G, are you still here?
I'm still here.
Wonderful.
I'm here.
Do me a favor and introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, I am Gwendolyn, GR Houston Jack. We are yes, I use we, so just work with the people. But we are a career coach, podcaster, and small business owner. And we do a lot of conversations around women's rights, what's right for society, and we also like fashion.
We also like fashion. Fantastic. Well, do me a favor and talk a little bit about your background in fashion for us, please. And this is not me, but talk about your background in fashion, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So I started with, believe it or not, an image consultant certificate while I was studying to get my associate in fashion merchandising. And when you do a fashion merchandising degree, depending on where you attend your college, you will typically do fashion sketching, you will do a garment construction class, fabric science. And so we have done all of that, right? I've done my internship with DKNY in her home department, but we did an internship with DKNY. We have worked a number of fashion shows. We had a small stint of modeling, and it was way more than I anticipated. So I'm not built for that. But we have written for fashion magazines. We have lived the life that could only be lived, I believe, in New York. I had the beautiful chance of having to see Diane von Furstenberg speak, and also had my shoes read by the Andre Leon Talley. Nothing will ever top that moment. Okay, we'll stop getting married, but nothing will ever top that moment.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so you know what? This is really interesting because my camera just shut off. So I'm like, wait, what happened? Where is the picture? What is going on here? So
sometimes those tech gremlins, they like to get in there. They like to get in there. The machines are coming for us. It is hands down. It is happening. If it's not in what you're sending in a text message, it's happening when you're live and trying to get things done.
Of course, no, it is very strange. Today is Tech Gremlin Day. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to put myself off camera and we'll just be here together. We'll be together. Hold on a minute. I know exactly what to do. So we're going to do this. I'm going to put my picture up, and then I'm going to have both of us together. There we go.
Hey.
Yes. So I'm going to be in the background working on this, but we have, hey, B. Campbell is here, says hello to all of us. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? It's good to have you here. Thank you. Today's guest is Gwendolyn, also known as G. R. Houston Jack. We are getting ready to talk Paris Fashion Week, and I actually have a special thing for fashion. I do work in fashion currently because I am a reseller, which is working in fashion, and I do have a t-shirt line. So although I don't have all the wonderful learnedness in fashion that G has. I do work currently in fashion, and I do pay quite a bit of attention to what happens in fashion. But before we get to that, we've had unfortunately a passing. D'Angelo passed away today, and it's actually quite sad. G, I know that I was watching you earlier, and you really took this hard. You really, I mean, I think we all took this hard. Part of the thing is he was only 51, so
Yes.
super young. He's very young. You know, a lot of us have are that age or have friends that age, and it just seems entirely too young to be going. He passed away from pancreatic cancer. Do me a favor and talk a little bit about your relationship to D'Angelo's music, and then we'll go from there.
Oh man, yeah, I 51 in my opinion, it is young. Like in my opinion, when you get into your 40s, you should be in like your stride. And when you get to 50, it is just smooth sailing, right? Like we're really in it. So to realize that he was so young, and I knew he had cancer, but I didn't think it was at that stage. I remember when Brown Sugar came out. Man, that was the album, right? And then there was that one video where he was, turning, it was black and white. And it was like, how do you feel? I was like, how do you feel? He left a mark on us. Beautiful voice. And he has done some tributes for Prince. But I do recall a concert. We were in the front row, and he was just getting started at that point. And Angie Stone was singing backup, and it had been rescheduled. And so it was a smaller crowd than what was originally supposed to be there. And because we had a smaller crowd, we were able to go in the back and get autographs and have a conversation. And, you don't get that close to too many singers before they really, if you will, blow up.
Right.
So just to realize that he was so young, and I didn't even think they would hit me that hard. We music is such an intricate part of our lives. So there's a lot of songs that I can tell you how it got me through a certain time and period of my life. And some of his music definitely did that. And so it was just shocking for me when I heard the news today.
Absolutely. I know, I remember D'Angelo, when he first came out. So really his music came out in 1995. He'd been doing that way before. Fun fact, my roommate at Howard, her stepfather was a musician. And before D'Angelo got big, he worked with D'Angelo, like training D'Angelo, because they're from Richmond. And yeah, that's Richmond is small, right? So chances are, somebody who knows somebody. It's only like 6 degrees of separation away. And so, yeah, fun fact, I'm like 6 degrees of separation because my roommate's stepfather used to train him, and vocal training. And I remember, so it was like 1995. I was in class, and I was taking a dance class, and we had to pick a partner, and we were supposed to choreograph something. And I remember Lady had just come out, and that's the song we used. So I always remember that. I always connect D'Angelo to dance, because there's always some dance routine, some dance something that I was either working on or in that used D'Angelo's music, because he was just so versatile. He had such a range, an amazing range. And I know that he was a huge fan of Prince. I remember when Prince passed away, how hard that hit him. He was on Saturday Night Live, I think, and doing, what is the name of the song? Sometimes it rains in
sometimes it rains in April.
April, yes.
Sometimes it snows in April. I'm sorry. Sometimes it snows in April. I'm putting all my things together, but yeah, sometimes it snows in April.
Okay, so he was singing that, and he was really trying hard to hold it together, and he could barely. Christopher Lawrence is here. Hey, Christopher, how are you? Watching us on the Facebook side. It's wonderful to see you. And he said, "Man, we are losing stuff. We really are." On top of everything that's already going on in the country, this just compounds the feelings. So I think it hits even harder because of that. It already hits hard, but
Mhm.
then you're already going through whatever you may be going through because of the tumultuous nature of what's happening in the country right now. And then it's like, and this too,
Yeah.
it's terrible. Anthony Davis has also joined us. Anthony Davis, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. And Lauren says, Christopher says this, in all seriousness, Neo Soul has lost an iconic legend. Yeah, he's one of the progenitors of
Yes.
Neo Soul.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember very well, like the whole, okay, then in 1995, he came out. Then 1996, we had Maxwell. I remember in 96/97, Erica Badu came out. Now, mind you, and Jill Scott, remind you, all these people had already been making music. We
Yes.
just had not heard it on a wide scale,
Yes.
unless you happened to be from their town and heard what they did, but they blew up. And then we got a chance to hear the genius. So D'Angelo was in that whole cohort, I will call them, of individuals that really have made amazing music. And I miss neo soul as it was, even though we've got some nice music now,
Nice is being very kind, Dr. Tachi. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
You
I
don't
know in
like
my
it.
car, I have a USB and a hard drive, right? And so my car stays in the 90s and the early 2000s, and then I have a lot of 80s and 70s and some 60s in there. And nothing against the music today, and I don't want to be that person. It just feels as if it's missing some of the character and the creativity. Like I didn't know what some people were talking about when they were talking about it because it was very clever. We don't have that nowadays. It's just hit me, you
Just,
know. Trying to keep it kosher. So
just put
it's
it
just
out there.
different, yes. But it still plays like his album still plays in my car. Like a lot of old stuff still plays in my car. I say old, but it's it's still banging, it's still hitting.
Now, do you have a favorite D'Angelo song?
Oh wow. I will say, oh, that's a hard one.
It
Lady
is.
does come to mind. I like Lady a lot. That one, I think I really play that out a great deal. And then like there are all the other ones, but it didn't get a lot of radio main play. So, but Lady plays a great deal for me. Yeah.
Lady.
Mhm.
Okay, good. And folks, we're doing a mishmash of things today, but we are going to talk about fashion. And there's a reason I brought up D'Angelo and fashion. Let's look at this. Christopher says that era changed music. You better believe it did. And B. Campbell says, you ladies are looking amazing. Thank you. Since we're talking about fashion, we had to kind of come with it, right? And
Yes.
we didn't plan to wear black, but I think what ends up happening is when you talk about fashion, you just kind of gravitate towards black sometimes.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. Especially like fashion journalists, etc. You just it's like it's always polished. And honestly, there are some things that how there's some clothes that they just look better in black. Like they come in
Yes.
different colors, but the black just cinches it. So
Mhm.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And so thank you for that. And then Christopher says, my worry now is the state of music. Is that your only worry? Is that your only worry, sir? Would you like to have another answer?
It's one of the many worries.
Listen, is one
One
of
of
the
the many.
many worries.
Yes.
Listen, I will take trap music over what's happening in the country right now. And I can't stand trap music, but I will take it. I will listen to trap music every day. If it just meant all of this nonsense would go away. Trap it is. Okay.
Trap it is.
So there's a reason that what we brought up to D'Angelo. I don't think we could actually have a good conversation and ignore what happened today. But he also was very much a fashion. How would I put it? Not necessarily a fashion icon, but he lived in his clothes. If that makes any sense.
Mhm.
He he did not, the clothes did not wear him. He wore his clothes even when they styled him for shoots. And I'm
Yeah.
going to show you an example. This is from the GQ shoot that he did. I believe it was in 2014. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see this. All right. Can everybody see this?
We're good.
Okay, good. Okay, because you know I can't see you, right? Because I'm running this. So this is the there are 8 photos here. This is where he has on the American flag, and it's really interesting. Um, it's apropos in terms of what's happening today. But one reason I wore a hat, because I was actually going to do my hair, folks. I was going to break down and do my hair. However, I was like, you know what? D'Angelo, especially in his later years, was a hat person.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? In honor of D'Angelo, I am going to wear the hats like I always do. Now, if you look here, he's got you know, just a shirt and a tie, but look how it looks on him, right? The tie is undone. It's very relaxed, and he was generally known for wearing a lot of streetwear. He really liked, his coats were Comme des Garçons. He really liked a lot of Rick Owens as well. So he did a lot of streetwear. So there's the juxtaposition of the streetwear that he did with when he dressed up. So even though he was styled for the GQ shoot, look how well this shirt fits him. I just think it's amazing. And then, okay, here we go again. This is a suit, and the shirt is by Versace. Or Versace, sorry. And he just looks comfortable. He doesn't look like, this is not what I normally wear, because I've seen some people in photo shoots, some musicians, and they try to dress them up other than what they are or who they are. And it it looks
Doesn't
like,
go.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, it's like if whenever somebody wears something in a portrait session and it's not their normal thing, they can look uncomfortable and it comes across in the camera.
Exactly. But he looked like this was pajamas for him. Okay, absolutely. So now we're going back to, now this is not quite streetwear, but it's more of a casual thing, but a dressy casual, I would say. It's a t-shirt, and this is by John Varvatos. And he's got the cross necklace on, but look how the t-shirt fits. Now, it also should be said that his physique was quite nice. So
it's like a medium.
Yes, a medium.
Medium. You can get the pecs showing.
Exactly. You see, but it almost looks like it's painted on, right? Not tight like they like to wear in Miami. Sorry, Miami. You know what I mean. And then here we go. We're used to seeing him in a lot of the tank tops and the sleeveless tops. He's got the hat on again. And then the jewelry was always something that was not like overly prominent, but it was there, right? Part and parcel. And here we go again in a 3-piece suit. This is Tom Ford. And you can't really see, but the cufflinks are the things here that are the major things. They're by Chrome Hearts. And here he is again in the t-shirt. So I just wanted to put that out there, because he's so multifaceted in terms of a musician, but part of what musicians and actors and all of that do is they put on clothes, and their fashion communicates something about them. So I said, well, why don't we take a look at D'Angelo and the way he dressed, especially just looking at this photo shoot. But what are some of the things you remember about the way D'Angelo dressed that may have stood out to you?
When I think about him, I immediately think about all the bandanas.
The bandana.
Like that was always there. And so that comes to mind. Even when he was like in his later years, there was a lot of bandanas with the hat. Right. So I think about that immediately. And then, 90s, we had a lot of 90s wear. So that's very iconic in itself.
Yes, absolutely. But you know what? When I think about him, I didn't think, how when like women sometimes wear 90s wear, it's like, you could tell that was early 2000s. It wasn't anything that stood out in terms of you can tell that it's from there, because what he chose to wear generally was not outlandish, was not super out there. It was very much regular, right? So
Yeah.
it aged well. He could probably have put on some of those clothes today and it would have aged well. Chris is here. Hello, Chris. How are you? Welcome in. It is wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are just joining, welcome to a special edition of MediaScope. This is a MediaScope Extra, and we are actually speaking with a one, Gwendolyn, GR, Houston, Jack. She is she does a lot of things. She is would you call yourself a business coach?
I would not.
No, then we won't call you that hot here either.
Yeah, well, business coaches really do have a specific thing. They focus on the business. As a career coach, I am looking at that person's entire mindset and education, as well as how it impacts their life. So they really kind of come together. Think about like back in the day when you had a manager who actually worked with you, helped grow you in your career. That's where I am. Because there's a lot of things that people are like, oh, I'm just going to start a business. Okay, and how do you do that exactly? You ever hired somebody? How are your communication skills? Well, so there's
terrible, I'm
like
sure.
I'm about the business of you, Dr. Tachi.
Okay. About the business of you. So she's a career coach. She also is a show host. She's a photographer. She is a fashionista, and she actually has a background in fashion, which is why she was the perfect person to talk about this today. And I would love to hear from you all. Please let me know your thoughts on whether it's D'Angelo and his music, whether it's his fashion. If you have anything to contribute, we would love to put that on the screen and discuss that. But we also came here today to talk about Paris Fashion Week. Now, for those of you who don't know, Fashion Month just ended. So the month of September covers the and you know what? I don't even think they're 4 major anymore, because New York, you disappointed me. I was sorely disappointed with you, New York. But it goes New York, Milan, Paris, and New York, London, Milan, Paris. Yes. So those are 4 large cities, and their fashion weeks tend to draw a lot of people and draw a lot of attention from the industry. So when you hear people talking about Fashion Week, generally it's one of those 4, but lots of other cities have Fashion Week. In fact, I was looking at the link you sent me, Sao Paulo Fashion Week in Brazil. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to dig into that and take a look later. But so what I wanted to do is let's talk about the things that we like, some of the looks that we liked from Paris Fashion Week, and why. Okay, so yeah.
Let me just give an overall really quick.
Go ahead. Give an overall.
Because I know that there has been a lot of talk about the disappointment with New York Fashion Week. And back in the day, it was really held in one place and everybody came together. And there was a lot of, I'm going to say, pomp and circumstance, right? Because this really big thing is happening in the city and everybody's excited about it. People still get excited about it. But some of the things I saw, they're on the bland side. I wouldn't say bland. Let me say it like this. I believe people are putting together collections that are actually wearable and would probably talk to people to say, hey, this is going to last you a few years. I have found that when we're in harsh economic times, we tend to go really conservative and not like way out of the park.
Okay.
That is at least for the US crowd. Right. So I'll say that. Now, on the other side of the pond, people are playing with all the crayons. What crayons they're playing with, I'm not really sure. There were a lot of big shoulders, as if someone's got like a curtain rod on their back. There were a lot of briefs that were used as just like bottoms. So it was some reusing, as you saw with Miu Miu, the aprons, looking at, was it Christian Dior? I think it was Christian Dior who had like a coat turned backwards. That was the top. It's just, I don't know. Not really sure, but it was interesting. And there were some really pretty pieces, some really attractive pieces. The one that I didn't have in here was Yves Saint Laurent. Oh my gosh. so beautiful. And
Mm.
in the middle of their area of the show is the YSL in flowers, right?
Yes.
Flowers and greenery, and it was just amazing from the top to look down. Beautiful pieces. I was like, "Oh my god," but it didn't make my cut, but still a great show to watch if you can watch it on YouTube or what have you.
Absolutely. They're still up and available to watch. So let's go with this one, your first one, okay? And then we have a comment and Anthony says big shoulders. So the 80s are back. Okay. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I saw a lot of influence from the 80s, huge 80s influence in several designers.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember which one it was, but my sister and I are like, what the hell? That dress is ugly. That looks like something from Sears or JC Penney. No offense, Sears or JC Penney, but the catalogs that they had in the 80s, huge shoulder pads, ridiculously dropped waist.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. So we saw a lot of that from several designers. But yeah, the 80s are back, but that's what fashion does, wouldn't you say?
I wasn't that they are doing a new take on it.
Yeah.
It's like really over exaggerated shoulders. And there were a lot of dresses and skirts that had over exaggerated hips. I'm like, I'm not fully understanding where this is going to rock in the real world. Like, let's just be real about it. So it is the 80s, but it's beyond the 80s. It almost was like neoprene and all. It's just no, not attractive at
Right.
all. I don't know who they were looking at. I don't know.
Well, I don't think they meant for those to be ready to wear. If they did, I don't know who's ready to wear them. But
Yeah. There's nobody ready to wear them. That is true. Yeah, I don't know because it's a hard one, right? Because some of them, in my opinion, like I think about Jean Paul Gaultier, love his stuff, but his clothes and it wasn't just him. There were a few designers where I was getting Fifth Element vibes. Okay. And I
okay,
was like,
okay.
some of the clothes in Fifth Element were really, really nice, right? And all that was done by Jean Paul. But Jean Paul went on a whole nother thing this time around. There was there was one unitard that was skin printed, so it was like a guy's chest and hair,
Yes.
and I was like, I'm trying to understand where this flows. I'm not rocking with this. So yeah, some of it is just for show, for creativity, kind of like at the car show, there's the concept car.
Right.
Others are real pieces that they believe somebody would want to wear.
They hope because the point of all of this exhibition is for buyers to say,
Yes.
I want to order X amount,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So we know, well, you know what? Here's the thing. Gautier has been pushing the envelope with the body thing, but not
Yes.
to the extent that he did this time, where usually what he has is like, the popular thing was the dots that formed like the shape of a woman in a bikini
Mhm.
in the dress. So that was really popular. This collection has to be from 2 seasons ago, I think. So, but now what he did is that we'll just make it photorealistic. I'm like, wow, we didn't need to see all that. In
No.
fact, sometimes when you watch it, they had to blur because it was
Yeah.
that yeah. uh P. Campbell says, what was your experience with Mr. Tally again?
Oh, okay. So Andre Leon Talley read my shoes. So there is a thing that you can tell a great deal about a person based on their footwear. You can
Mm,
get an idea if they are conservative in nature, if they are fashion forward, if they are what's the word, focused on how they look and how they present themselves, or they are more the who cares. And so I had a pair of purple and gray square-toed Kenneth Cole snakeskin boots.
oh,
I had to get all of that in there because they was beautiful. They was beautiful. And so I was like, I will put myself up there. Like he wanted volunteers. And I said, this is my chance. Hopefully I passed the test of being fashionable. And I got a really great reading. I was like, thank you.
wow.
So yeah. I
Wow.
left feeling validated.
That is huge. Andre Leon Talley read your shoe. Wow.
I read my shoes.
Would you still have those shoes?
The square toe is gone for me. I wore those boots until I couldn't wear them anymore. Because right after
Wow.
the square toe, we started seeing that sort of rounded toe
Mhm.
from the Louboutin, Steve Madden's, and so out went the square toe, and in came the rounded toe, and but the foot cleavage.
Yes,
That
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So we kept up with the times for a good chunk of time. Like I was that person. Yes.
Wow. Wow. All right. Well, Mr. Tally would be proud. The closest I can say is that he went to the church I go to in Harlem, but that's that's the closest I can say. And she says, I adored him. A compliment indeed. Absolutely. I would probably still have those shoes and put them in a bag. These are the shoes that Andre Leon Talley comes.
Yeah.
And Anthony Davis says they could be like Carol Burnett, where she wore a dress made out of curtains, the rod, and everything. Right. Remember?
It really it could have been. Seriously.
That's absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
Or the family Von Trapp running around town with nothing but drapes. You see how fashion is involved in everything. So, and Tanya Moore, hey, says, all hail the king. How are you, Tanya? Good to see you. Absolutely. All hail the king. May he rest well.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Yeah. And when you think we talk about this, we are losing a lot of great. Fantastic. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's take a look at we don't want to hold you all night. We just wanted to have a nice
Nice.
conversation about some of these things. So we each have some thingies, I would say, and some things that we liked. And I'm going to, I'm going to see if I can find the one that we did not like and just show them to people. So fashion is really subjective. Some people will love stuff. Some people be like, and this is what you call clothing. So
Right.
it's subjective. Let's take a look at your first choice if you are ready.
I'm ready. Let's
All
see
right.
who we showing. Let's see. Who is this? Let me make sure I get my notes together because I got my notes. Barbara Bui. Okay. I have a thing for really nice suits. Really nice suits with wide legs that kind of not flare, but a nice wide leg or stole type
Yes.
leg.
Yes.
And we've got the tie, we've got the blazer. Her collection was beautiful to me. I could so rock this with some 5-inch heels. Throw on your little jewelry. Man, loved this collection.
Wow. Okay. So, what specifically, we're talking about, we love the collection, but what is it for you? And I know you like the wildlife, but what is it? Is it the fabric also? What else besides the styling
Well,
drew you to it?
overall in her collection, a good number of the pieces were styled for everyday, timeless fashion chic. So I'm not going to buy this and it'll be out next season, right? I'm going
Yes.
to add this into my collection. I may even already have pieces that can work with. And for some people who like to make their dollar really stretch, the idea is to get something that will complement what I already have in my closet. You could wear this, you would know how old it is, which makes a great deal, right? A lot of designers who have pieces that, as we say, are timeless, design it so it can be worn forever and ever. Amen. So her entire collection gave me that feeling, which is what I'm personally attracted to.
Okay. Let's now go to your next choice. I love
Ah,
this. I
now I
love
had never heard of it's Mahaxa Africa. I hope I said that correctly. Had never heard of this designer. I am not.
I think it's pronounced Makosa.
Is it Makosa? But thank
I
you. 'Cause,
think so.
I'm not trying to get my words right. Trying to get my
Makosa,
words right.
because the X is
This
Makosa.
collection, and we're seeing more people really celebrate where they come from and their roots. I do have a couple of brands that I like to get. I don't want to say African inspired because it is just African. These are people who are African, Nigerian, what have you, who are in other countries, but they are creating fashion with their mind, body, spirit in mind. And so this collection had a number of different colors and fabrics. And I'm going to say embellishments that said, Gwendolyn, if you could get that dress, we going to rock that out.
Mm.
Right. So there's a couple out there. I'm sure people have heard of Dianu, Afore. I have never
Yes.
heard of this brand. I am looking for this.
Yes. Now, did you happen to watch the show?
This one, no, I was not able to find this show. I had to do some digging to see who else was there, and I ended up getting like some of the after shots. So
Okay.
yeah, but we were hunting, and there's a number of shows out there, people. So if you got a little bit
Oh
of
my
time on your
gosh.
hands, go hunting. But
They're
I didn't
all on
see this show, but
YouTube.
I'm still looking for that one on YouTube. Maybe somebody has something somewhere.
I'll send it to you because I watched the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, but let me give, and not to give a criticism of the show, but to give a criticism of the show. The venue was really small, and so what ended up happening is the camera placement was not far enough away to
Mm,
get everything. And the beautiful thing is they had a performer singing, but she was right in the middle, and so the models, it was hard for them to get around and still be seen by the camera. And they did have a camera set up outside as
mm,
well, but so they came
hmm,
outside and we were able to see it, but we kind of missed the runway part of it. And I think part of the thing is the venue was a little small for the
mhm,
amount of models they had, the amount of people, and then to have the performer right in the middle. So I would suggest that next time that they have the performer like not on the stage, like set to the side
yeah.
so that we could see more of the fashions. But what I did see was lovely. Fantastic.
I
Go ahead.
since you're talking about production, there were
Yeah.
some shows, and I was looking at the Louis Vuitton show, the camera work they had there, the camera equipment they had for that production, I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
man."
yes.
You're looking at some real top-notch production crews at work, so, the bigger the budget, the bigger everything is.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. And look
Mhm.
who we have here. Lisa Seeley is saying, "Hey, ladies. Hey, Lisa. How are you?" Fantastic. And she says, "What about those hairy AKI?" Oh, are we frozen? Am I frozen? Guys, let me know if you can hear me. Okay,
I
you're
don't
not
know.
frozen anymore. Okay, you're good. You froze for a moment, but you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Okay, no worries. Okay,
yeah, I
what
saw
are the
that.
hairy AKI? I don't know. Let us know, Lisa.
Uh
Let us know what they are. So I noticed that we have a little bit of a lag because you froze, but it will probably catch up. So I'll try not to
Yeah,
talk over you. Okay, G was frozen.
sounds
Okay,
good.
okay, okay. So folks, please excuse us. Technical difficulties tend to happen. So don't even sweat it. So please bear with us. So folks, if you're just joining in, welcome. We are talking Paris Fashion Week. We talked a little bit about D'Angelo and not only his contributions to music, but his special approach to fashion. So we talked
Mhm.
about that, and now we are talking about what we liked, and we're going to talk about also what we did not really care for from Paris Fashion Week. But I have to say that I was really pleased with the amount of shows that they had on YouTube. I was watching every show live, basically, with the exception of the ones I couldn't catch. Because some of these shows start like half an hour to 45 minutes late,
Mhm.
so I may have not missed it, but for the most part, everything I wanted to catch live, I caught live. New York, I was like, well, where are your shows? So I was very disappointed in you, New York. Again, I will say it. Um, so let's see. Um, oh, Kim Kardashian put out some faux. Who wants that? Do they
I
know what the hell is this?
Uh, like I said, there were a lot of people who had, like, the bikini brief as an actual bottom.
Yes.
I'm not understanding what that trend is supposed to be because ain't nobody doing that, and I said it, ain't nobody doing that.
No, exactly. Now, maybe you could get away with it if you have like a trench coat on or something and you kind of style it where, like, where it's partially covered. I've
Mhm.
seen that. But my thing is, I'd rather see boy shorts. But you know
Right.
what? If you like it, I like it for you. I'll be quiet. I don't have to wear it. So let's keep going. I want to get to more of your your delights. So this one right here, this is interesting. Talk a little bit about why you like this.
Roberto Cavalli.
Cavalli.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I was getting all the disco vibes. And maybe because I'm yearning for, as I told you, a little bit of Halston. I was getting all the disco vibes. There was the gold. Maybe there was a little lamé in there, but it's not like I can take this outfit as is and go stunting. And I said stunting on the street.
Hey.
Yes. I mean, the entire collection was beautiful. It just flowed really well, and it worked as a cohesive collection, but with the dresses, the casual wear, the blouses. There is again still that sort of unitard thing going, but it worked. It worked in this sense.
It definitely does work. You know what? It's giving me, in contrast to the 80s vibe, it's giving me the 70s. It's definitely a 70s vibe, and I can see the Halston in there definitely. So I see why you're attracted to this, because you are longing for some Halston. All right, and this is you. I could see you rocking this.
Yes, Leonard Paris. I was feeling Poochie here, and you and I looked at this last week. This I appreciate designers who are giving me fashion forward fashion that again is not going to be in one season and out the next. Because the idea when you're wearing your clothes or you're building your wardrobe is to build a wardrobe that allows you to express yourself over time. I have dresses in my closet that are 20 years old. Okay, wait a minute, 25. Rocking. You wouldn't know that it's 25 years old, right? So I love collections that really do that. And this had a lot of flowy fabrics, great patterns. It was just yummy. It was yummy. Yeah.
It absolutely was yummy. Let's take another look at that. I love the color combination as well. And it just feels like this is a great date night dress. This is a great everything dress. I love it.
Yes, because it could do date night. I can see spring. I can see brunch. This dress is going all over. Its party is good enough for a wedding party. Like it goes all over. You're not gonna wear this dress once and say, oh, "Okay, it's over. I'm done." No, but his entire collection was like that, with the pantsuit, with the skirts. Oh, I was in love. I was like, I need to figure this out. But yes. But again, I like designers who design for the long haul, but are still fashion forward in what they're presenting.
Yes. 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 Okay. So fantastic. Were there any other designers that you really gravitated towards that, like, I don't have an image for? Anything that stood out to you?
Well, not that we have in this one, but Carolina Herrera, I loved her collection.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, full stop. First of all, the venue, beautiful.
The venue was gorgeous.
Amazing.
Gorgeous.
The pieces, I was like, oh, the dresses, the skirts, just all the outfits, like there may be like one or two, but you could actually take it and literally put it on right now and go out on the town. Beautiful.
Absolutely. It was a beautiful collection. And usually, not that I don't like Carolina Herrera, but it's not my style, what I would typically wear.
Right.
But I saw a lot of pieces in this collection that I said, you know what, I could don that.
Yes.
I could wear that and be happy, quite happy. So good. Okay. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share some of my choices, and then we have to show them the ones that we were like, what is this? What the hell? Okay. But I mean, that could be every fashion show, right? There are always those pieces.
There's always a couple.
There's always those. So I'm going to call out Chanel. I liked this because I thought it was funky. And this is atypical Chanel. It's Chanel-ish in terms of the, qu'est-ce que c'est? In terms of the material, right? Typically, she does a lot of tweed. She'll do some knit things. So it fits right with that. but I loved this color combination for some reason. I don't know, I gravitated toward it. What for me, I probably wouldn't want the top to be so bulky, but I do like the I like this take on a Chanel suit. It's very atypical. Thoughts on this?
I did see a couple of other designers who sort of did this play with patterns
Yeah.
where the top is kind of boxy, if you will, and then the bottom is more sort of relaxed, has different pattern. The bottom I can rock with that top. I don't know about that. I got to figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah, my shoulders are too big for that, but
Yeah.
if it was a little more streamlined, I would like this. I would like this definitely. So I don't know, something about that color orange. I'm digging this so much. I love I love all types of things, but for some reason, I'm liking flowy type things.
Mm.
This just kind of is like, I'm putting this on and I'm going to look together and polished, and I don't have to do too much to do, to make myself look together and polished. I don't know. I think it's the color blocking too. I really like this particular orange together with the white, and particularly the suit. You can leave it open or you can leave it
Mhm.
closed. So there was something about this that I really gravitated toward. Thoughts?
I would agree with that. There was a lot of flowing designs this season, which
Yes.
gives me, are we returning to a different, not that it's a different era of women fashion, but every now and then, sometimes it goes way to one side and now we're going back. So like I said, when I looked at Cavalli, I thought, okay, Halston, flowy gowns, maybe that's in there. So
Yeah.
beyond the brief thing, we are getting more of the flowy, even with Herrera, a lot of
A
flowy.
lot of flowing.
So that could be the trend that we'll see moving forward.
I think so. I think so. And the thing is, this is the interesting thing about fashion. Definitely, the runways dictate what we see down to us, the
Mhm.
commoners, right? So everything, whatever you see on the runway, everybody from Zara to H&M, etc., all the fast fashion, Shein, Temu, you're going to see replications of that there, right? So it definitely dictates. But it's so interesting to know that these people just decided, you know what, I'm inspired by the 80s, and then all of a sudden, oh, well, the 80s is back. Well, who said that? This one or two or three designers did, and we decided that that is what it's going to be. So it's really interesting how the runways dictate how
Mhm.
we feel about our fashion and what we wear, because then that's what becomes available to us in in what what is the name of the Devil Wears Prada, in
The
whatever
Devil Wears
bargain.
Prada.
Yes, that's one of my favorite movies. In
And it's
whatever.
true.
Mhm,
It is
mhm.
true. Like whatever is seen on the runway. Now, back in the day, you would have the people come in, and like you mentioned, if it was, let's say, a Target or an H&M, they would have their team make a duplicate of, but they have their own design teams. So like they're doing their own fashion things, but it is still a cohesive, like, what are we doing as a group? And I'm not sure. Some people are inspired by the times. Some are inspired by music or a period in time. So all of that. But when I looked at some of these shows, I got a certain feeling. The 80s, I saw again some 70s, some return to a time where we wore a lot of dresses and they were flowy fabrics, what have you. So I believe, yes, we're gonna see a lot of that in the next year and some.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I wanted to do also, there were a couple of other things that I wanted to bring up and put on screen, because now this was not this spring 26 Zuhair Murad, I think it is. This
Mm.
is from winter, but it was so close that I was like, I saw this and I happened to watch the show thinking it was spring. I was like, why are the fabrics so heavy? But it wasn't, but it was so beautiful. And I like his spring collection, but not so much. So let me share this. And the dress, these are like evening dresses, and they are just stunning, absolutely stunning. Rather than talk about it, let me just put this up. So we're gonna share this here. And okay, Zuhair Murad. Look at these evening dresses. Look
Yes.
at them.
Yeah.
Stunning.
See, that was a common, even the color. Now, I will say this about Yves Saint Laurent. They had these really beautiful jewel toned gowns and outfits,
Yes.
and they had the most beautiful brown
Look at
skin in
this.
them. I mean, the dress showed up because of that brown skin, but we're seeing these emeralds, we're seeing the aubergines, we're seeing those colors. I'm excited about how it's going to trickle down.
Yes. I think this one right here was my absolute favorite. And this is actually a jumpsuit. I love this. This is gorgeous beyond belief. And so because of this, I was like, let me look at what the spring collection is. And it's nice, but it's not like this.
Mm.
So, which leads me to believe that sometimes it's just the season, right? And what you're able to do with like these rich, deep jewel tones, what he's able to do with the amount of fabric is something that, you can't do really for the summer unless it's summer in Antarctica. So, so yeah, and here's the designer at the bottom. But I just thought his entire collection, all of this was just gorgeous. I want this emerald. I want it. I want it. So fantastic. All right. So I am going to, I stopped sharing other thoughts that you have on Paris Fashion Week in general, as I'm pulling up the one that we were like both, what the hell is this?
In general, for the shows that I was able to watch, I discovered some new designers that I didn't even know because people know the big brand names, right? Like, Dior, Vuitton, all those names, the Prada and whatnot. But there's a lot of people putting out some really amazing collections that you may not ever see if you don't dip your toe into the fashion world and go look at some of those fashion shows. So, as you mentioned with The Devil Wears Prada, what's happening here is going to trickle down in some form or fashion to the masses. I am curious to see which ones get picked up. I could see somebody like an H&M or even like a Shein or whomever taking some of that Cavalli pieces and doing all of the gold things and put it on a more sort of youthful level. I'm excited because I really want to see some good old fashioned Halston come back into this world. We need some of that right now. We need disco again.
We do, don't
Disco,
we?
house music is revolution music. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. We need that. I'm with you. I'm with you. We need a little Halston. We need every time you say Halston, I think of the perfume bottle. I we need a little Halston because it has that shape, and a lot of the clothes had that same type of shape.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Fantastic. Okay, so before we go, I am going to show Miu Miu.
Oh,
Yeah, Lucia.
Lucia.
Santa Lucia. Mm.
Yeah.
All right, let's share it and let the audience, please let us know what you think of these designs that we picked out. Are there designs that you picked out? And by the way, this website that we actually G shared this with me, and it has all the fashion shows from all the different cities from different years, and you can check out. It's good. It's good to see. And the thing is, it can be inspiration. You don't have to buy from that designer, but you can be inspired to find what your personal style is. I watch too to see, hey, I like that. I probably have something like that in my closet,
Right.
or, I could put something like that together. Let's see. All right. We're going to share. And here we go. Can you all see this? No, don't sigh.
Long sigh.
So no, this is not a uniform fashion show. You would think it was, how they have the fashion shows for uniforms. You would think, no, this is Miu Miu, a major designer brand. And they had aprons. The most that they did was this leather apron. Okay, fine. But is it even leather? I can't say for sure. You would hope.
You know what got me? There was a stylist who writes for Women's Wear Daily who absolutely loved the show. I think he got paid. There is no way that you can tell me that throwing an apron over a shirt and a skirt is now fashion. I'm not exactly sure where she was coming from. He defined it as being hopeful. Hopeful for whom?
Hopeful for what?
I'm like, bruh, were you there? And like all the oversized shoes. I didn't get the
shoes was
oversized shoe
adorable.
thing. I didn't get this apron thing. It was just like someone had a garage sale on their mama's stuff, and they said, "Let's take it and make some dresses." Like this is
Exactly.
not it.
And
This
I
is
can't
not
hate
it.
on that. I don't hate on that. I love upcycling. But if you're going to upcycle, can you please do something sensible with it? Look at this. They just took an apron and tucked it into pants.
You know, I want to see the price on this, and I mean that. I want to see the price on this. I want to see it. And it just if it even gets picked up, because I get that they produced it doesn't mean that some buyer's like, that's gonna be the next thing. And you know there will probably be one person who's gonna try to rock it and be like, yes, no, it's not. No, it's not. Stop that. Cut it out. Cut
I
that
have that in my kitchen now. If I really wanted to rock that, that's what I would do.
out. Really, seriously. It's like, no.
And no offense, they're cute for aprons, but aprons are not fashion. Well, it's uniform fashion, okay? But it is not high fashion. So what we're not going to do is listen, my mother made Holly Hobby house coats and aprons for us that were more stylish than that. So B. Campbell says, nope, thumbs down. Kibby says, oh.
Yes, it really is.
Kind of you.
It's like, wait, what? I just I don't know. I really am struggling with, because she's had, I mean, in the past, she's had some really amazing fashion. So let's just make sure we're clear here that I liked her Miu Miu line. If you couldn't do the Prada line, then you're doing Miu Miu, right? But this is, typically like her younger customer. I'm not seeing it. I'm not. Will there be one or two people who buy it to sort of say, oh, I'm the fashion forward person. I'm the trendsetter. There's always somebody in every group who wants to be
Absolutely.
that person. Do not buy into that hype. If you want this, you really could run down to Goodwill or what have you, get you an apron. I got a sewing machine right here. I cook you up. You don't have to go far.
You could, for $1, you
Yeah.
could probably get an apron at the Goodwill if it's that serious for you.
Yes, really. And tucking into your pants.
Nonsense. This was lazy at best, if you ask me. I don't know what the thought process was there, but it's lazy at best. Wow. Well, it looks like we managed to talk about some of the things that we really did like and connect with. And I know there were so many others. And there was like a jewelry brand that I thought was amazing. There were so many other things. And here are the things. There are, so many other shows that are affiliated with Fashion Week that are not here. Some people will do pop-ups for their own personal brand. So I encourage you all to do Fashion Week as well. So if you're inspired by these types of things, take a look at some of the other brands that have showcases during Fashion Week, but are not necessarily associated per se with Fashion Week. You might find something that you like, and it's cool to support an independent designer.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Any final things that you would like to say?
What I would typically do with people is we would have the magazines once they come out with all the new looks.
Yeah.
And there is a way to take that look and, as you say, go out and find it and make it your own in the store. It's a very good chance you have something in your closet. You go to a Goodwill or any other store and get those pieces and replicate that look, but not spend all of that money. Now, every blue moon, I'm going to say spend the money, but most of the time you don't have to. It's not really necessary unless you are like rocking it like that. Gwendolyn is not rocking it like that. I will spin on certain things, and other things I will duplicate that look and make it my own.
And make it your own. Absolutely. And I love the looks for less now.
No, right?
So yes, I'm not. I love fashion, but I'm not one that wants to break the bank for it. But here's another thing that we have to think about, and this could be a whole other conversation about sustainability and fashion. That's completely different. It's related, but that could be a whole different conversation. And when I'm looking, because you get caught up in, but now I really pay attention to the material. I really try to keep everything to cotton, linen. Um, well, it's too hot for wool here, but I try to wear more natural things. I do love thrifting, so I will thrift it up. But it's about sustainability. And again, I'm a reseller, so I'm reselling, things. So I tried to add to that sustainability chain. On that note, I think we pretty much covered at least the surface of Paris
Yes.
Fashion Week. But if you are interested, go to YouTube and look up Paris Fashion Week. And actually, the name of this website is fashionnetwork.com. Again, fashionnetwork.com. And you can look up all of the different shows and see for yourself. And maybe, you're like, what did you guys pick? That was ugly. Maybe you pick something that you like. So thank you everybody so much for hanging out with us for this hour today. Yeah, and it's just at an hour. And yeah, I will you know what, G? Tell people how they can reach you and what shows you have coming up next and all of that.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I can be reached on YouTube, GR Houston Jack. I'm sorry, yeah, that's it. And then on on Instagram at Blackfire Bunny. I have Girl Listen coming up, and we have the next episode, so next season, I should say, of Ladies Listen Up and Let's Wine a Little. And it's going to be a fun one, Dr. Tachi. It's going to be a fun one. I'm taking it back to our roots this next season. So excited because November is like around the corner.
It is around the corner. I'm excited. I'm excited. So
excited.
this is how you can find her on YouTube, GR Houston Jack.
Yes.
Please make sure that you are following her. She also has 4 shows on the Indie Soup Network. She is absolutely amazing, and I thank her so much. So Let's Wine a Little is her wine, spirits, and pairing show, which is going to be phenomenal. So make sure that you are tuned in. Make sure that you like Indie Soup Media, and then you can get to see all her wonderful shows. And we do some replays of her other shows. So make sure that you are following her on her channel on YouTube. Well, she has channels. You have more than one channel, correct?
Do, yeah, because we do all the career coaching on the other channel. we have to keep these things separate. And then there's the photography channel, but that one, like those really are customer service tools. Like people think YouTube and they think, oh, I'm gonna be influencer. Is you own a small business, your business should have, I'm saying should, but it should have a YouTube channel as a customer service tool, which also will be your favorite because it's on Google. SEO, AEO.
SEO, AEO. Yes, yes.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the AEO thing that Shay did with us on MediaScope. You definitely want that. So Kimmy says going to check it out. Good. And yes, Let's Wine a Little is an amazing show. Can't wait for it. November 19th is the next season on Indie Soup. We take a little break and then we'll come back. Tanya Moore says, ladies, you looked especially beautiful this evening. Thank you. We tried. If we're going to talk about fashion, we can't look like rubbish. And hey, Helma Paulina is here. How are you? It is good to see you. Glad to be here from Philadelphia. Fantastic. Thank you for being here. Wow. And we got people pouring in as we're getting ready to pour out of here. But thank you so much for being here. I'll be back on Friday. I know G has a show on Friday. She does Girl Listen on Fridays. So both on her channel, and then we do on the Indie Soup Network as well. She's at 5:00 on her channels, and then we do one of her wonderful Girl Listens at 7.
Yes.
So make sure. And then at 8-ish, because I have to wait till everything is good with the network, around between 8 and 8:30, MediaScope comes on. So make sure that you watch. We will be on Friday talking about media tech and pop culture. Thank you for being here. Was late. We'll catch the rerun. Yeah, absolutely. It was fun. It was fun.
Yes.
So please catch the rerun. All right, guys, we are going to let you go, and I'm going to end the way we always end. I love you for watching. I bid you adieu. You guys, myself, and our wonderful guest, G. R. Houston Jack. We are going to exit this way, stage left. So until next week, no, until Friday, I'll see you guys. Cheers.
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you how you play. The content it never stays. We're positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. Let's hear fake hydration.